It's time to give some people the boot. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Thank you for joining me here on the Hopefulist. I really appreciate you being here for your dose of inspiration and positivity. Starting with the quote of the day: people who are not happy with themselves cannot possibly be happy with you. That's right. They can't possibly be happy with you. Now, we're going to get more into that because that is the topic for today. The people in your life, that is what we will be talking about. I also wanted to tell you a little bit about the good news, the latest segment that we have here on the show. And this week, it's about a new study that shows that social interaction can stave off Alzheimer's disease. Now, my grandmother had Alzheimer's disease, and let me tell you, terrible disease, terrible, terrible disease. And new research shows that if you have someone that you can confide in and talk to on a regular basis, that will help keep Alzheimer's at bay. I have an article on it, and I kind of misplaced the article. I saved it in the photos on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record. It's not on my iPad. It's a big thing. So in order to just keep going, I'm going to post this story for you later in the group. So keep an eye out for it. But some really good news. Make sure you surround yourself with the right people. That's right. It's got to be the right people, because there are some people in your life that you really don't want to be around. And it's sad to say, but sometimes you just got to give people the boot. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. There are people who come and go in your life. Sometimes it's heartbreaking, while other times it can come as sort of a relief. Do you have that person that just leaves you completely drained after you spend time with them? You always feel unsettled and frustrated when you leave them. Is it because they do nothing but complain the whole time you are in their presence? Have you ever heard you are a combination of the 5 people you hang out with most? So what does your squad look like? Are they supportive and encouraging of you and your dreams? Do they make you feel like a good person? Seriously, think about those 5 people right now and describe them. How do they make you feel? How do you feel after you've spent time with them? Do you have fun with them, or is it more of a codependent relationship where one person needs the other? Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to be a bad friend. Nobody wants a bad friend. Nobody wants to be a bad friend. So I'm talking about those people that just seem to never be happy no matter what is happening. They love to complain and play the victim. There are some people that are just wired that way and will likely not be able to change them. You will not be able to change them no matter how much they want advice from you. They might ask for advice constantly, but they'll never take it. We all know people who are negative Nellies, and they seem to thrive on their own problems. They come to you with the issues they are having in their life. You give them some advice or just talk through it with them. Then the next time you see them, yep, still having the same exact issues because they aren't doing anything to help themselves. These are the type of people who just like to complain, and they will continue to whine about the same issues over and over because they don't actually want a solution. They just want to vent. Now, if you're okay with that, then good for you. But if not, it may be time to limit your exposure to this person. Again, not saying to end the friendship, but just take a step back. If you aren't feeling up to being drained at the end of the visit, and really, who is? Who is? Then say you're busy. Start letting this person know that you aren't as readily available as you have been in the past. Or if you are really brave, be upfront with them. Tell them that they are bringing you down, that their negativity is starting to get to you. That actually might even be doing them a favor. I sometimes wish that people would have been more straightforward with me with that type of information. I do remember that I expressed interest in this guy that I had worked with at one time. I think I must have asked him out because I remember he said, "Now, you know what? You seem kind of like a really negative person to me." What? You're not supposed to say that? But he said it. Definitely some food for thought. Made me think on it for a good long time. So tell them that they're bringing you down, that their negativity is starting to get to you, that some of the result that is on them. If they don't try to brighten up a little around you, then you have the right to limit your time with them. You have given fair warning. I can't usually be this confrontational, but it's important for you to maintain the friendship. You may just want to go that route. The other thing to keep in mind is that people change. Just because they were once your best friend and had your best interests at heart doesn't mean they currently do. People have all kinds of experiences that change them for the good and the bad. And most of the time, the way you are being treated has nothing to do with you. It is what is going on inside of them. They are looking at your life through their tinted glasses, and sometimes it's a very nasty tint. I've known people who were happy-go-lucky their whole lives, and then going through a divorce changed their perception forever. People often get more bitter as they get older, not getting what they want or they think they deserve can have a real impact on how people view the world. So, if you've been friends with someone since college and they're now in their 40s and 50s and they're not your cup of tea anymore, that's okay. You're allowed to evolve and move on. If those in your group aren't up to it, then it's time to get a new group. I know it can sound harsh and shallow, but this is your one and only life. Don't spend it trying to solve others' problems, especially when they aren't trying to solve them themselves. Don't spend it with people who make you sad, anxious, or drained. Do spend it with people who cheer you on and uplift you, who make you feel empowered and able to conquer all of your dreams, people who encourage you. Those are your people. And, of course, be that for others as well. And finally, never spend time with people who make you feel bad about yourself. I don't care who it is, even family. I unfortunately had a relationship with my mother where she was constantly disappointed in me. She made me feel like a terrible daughter, which in turn made me feel like a terrible person. I just felt like the bad guy all the time. That's why I always described myself. I'm always the bad guy. She's been gone now for a few years, and I can say that getting out from under that constant disappointment and disapproval has been life-changing. I wish I would have known how much better I would feel without that constant weight on me. I would like to think that it would have given me the courage to cut ties with her, but who knows? You know, the desire to have a relationship with your parents is pretty strong. But I do urge you to give serious consideration to any person, no matter who it is, that makes you feel bad about yourself, especially if it's an ongoing thing. No one has permission to make you think you are a bad person or aren't good enough. I'm not talking about advice on how to better yourself or discussions about a promising future. I'm talking about situations where you are made to feel like you are a disappointment. Question yourself to see if they have any kind of point, like, are you really being a jerk to them? But if you aren't, move forward in life with the knowledge that this person just may not be good for you. The relationships in our lives can create so much joy and so much misery. Make sure you are choosing your people wisely. Choose your people wisely. If you like this episode, please leave me a review on the platform you are listening on. That means Spotify, Apple, YouTube, what have you. Share it with your friends. Please share a screenshot of the episode or share a social media post of mine. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are having an issue with someone in your life and you think you could benefit from an impartial party to hash it out with on whether to continue that relationship, set up a free call to see if you may want to take part in one of my deep dive calls. They're for any issues that you feel you might want to delve into a little more, except for love relationships. That is not my forte. I do not talk about love relationships. But thank you, as always, for tuning in. I am grateful you are here. Now go out and be badass this week. You know I'm here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.